Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the in-text citation guidelines in academic writing. My name is ResearchHUB Munim. I'm the founder of ResearchHUB, and I'm going to present to you only 6 recommendations which will simplify the in-text citation guideline practices for you. Whether you're writing an assignment or an essay-based article for any courses in bachelor, master, or PhD, or you're writing a PhD thesis or a master thesis or a journal article, we have to follow in-text citation guidelines. If we don't follow the proper guidelines, we might end up in plagiarizing our text. So the first recommendation is that whatever we cite in our essay or writing must have the full information at the end of the report, okay, or end of the writing. So the full reference information of everything you cited in text must appear in the list of references and vice versa. And it is very challenging to ensure this without using a reference management software. I highly recommend that you use Zotero or EndNote from day one, okay? From the first day of your academic writing or assignment for essay or something like that, use Zotero or EndNote. Zotero is free software, EndNote you need access from the institution, but you can use Zotero. I have some videos on YouTube on Zotero. Have a look on that. There are many other videos. Have a look on any of them. It takes only 10 minutes to start using Zotero, okay? Also remember that, each of the in-text citation that you are going to use in your writing accounts for only one sentence, okay? You should not really write one paragraph and then just put only one in-text citation at the end of the paragraph and assume that that in-text citation covers the whole paragraph. It doesn't work like that. It only accounts for one sentence, okay? Sometimes we need to define some classifications and things like that. Normally, then we start with the citation. So we say that according to these, the following classification is like this. Okay, so that's how we will start. If we have to have like 2-3 bullet points or classification, we start with the citation in the first sentence and then we say it like this. So the first recommendation, everything that you cite should provide the full information at the end of the report or whatever you're writing with full reference information, okay? Now, the second one, a lot of the times when we are writing something, we don't know where to start, how to start. We pick different things from this and that study. We start reading a study, we pick something from their literature review, we pick something from their introduction. So the thing is, you should really never cite anything except the findings of published studies and report. If you're citing someone, it should be their findings. Well, if you're citing something in your introduction, it should be findings of other studies, okay? If you're citing something in your literature review, it should be based on findings or something from other studies, not just random text they have written in the introduction or literature review part, okay? So make sure that if you follow this, you will see your writing process becomes very simple. And you will really write very high quality text, okay? Only findings of other studies. We don't cite anything else. And in case, let's say, like, if you find something relevant in the introduction section of a study that you would like to cite, then what you have to do is you have to find the original study and cite that. So you have to find the original study, see if they really said it, because I have tried it several times. I have tried, like, I saw something cited in the introduction of one study, and I found that information relevant, and I wanted to verify that before citing in my own study. So I opened to the link, and I opened the study that it was cited, and then I went there and I see that no, they have not really written what is cited in the study I was looking into. Okay, so for example, you find something relevant in Munim 2022, but while citing that information or fact, Munim 22 cited Helena and Sarah 2021. So basically, if you have to use that information, you have to find the full text of Helena and Sarah, check if they really say that what Munim 22 cited for them, okay? And then cite Helena and Sarah in your study. You don't need to cite Munim 22, because Munim 22 picked it from Helena and Sarah. So you just go to Helena and Sarah, the original study, okay? So we should always cite the original study. Recommendation 3, we can have in-text citation in the beginning, end, or middle of a sentence. It doesn't have to be only in the beginning or only in the end, okay? In the beginning, normally we'll use author last name and year. In the middle, we'll use in bracket author and last name, author last name and year. Okay, so here you see it's author last name, the year is only in bracket. Here, the whole thing is in bracket. So let's see an example here. So we could say Munim and Sarah found that. So if we start in the beginning of the sentence, okay? According to Munim and Sarah, 2023, it's also in the beginning of the sentence. So we could say there is a positive association between logistics performance and economic growth of a country. Munim and Sarah, 2023. So when we put it in the end, then we put the whole thing in bracket. But when we put it in the beginning, we put only the year in bracket. And this is the typical APA style. And in case you have to use number text, like normally in IEEE format, we do that. Above sentences could be written like this, you know, according to Munim and Sarah 1. So the number comes here and then you put it, okay? But if you are citing in the end of the sentence, then you don't have to mention the author names. You only put the number. That's it. It's the citation number, okay? So that's how we do it. And if you're using Zotero or not, formatting like this is really easy. You can just change from APA style to numbering style and it will change the whole formatting. But one thing is that like this, adding the author names for the sentences where you start with the citation in the beginning of the sentence, you have to put that manually, okay, in the numbered sentences. So that's all numbered formats. Now recommendation 4. So as I said, we use in-text citation in the middle of a sentence when information comes from also multiple sources, okay? So here, let's have a look into an example. So while frequent query users prefer lower degree of autonomy, Munim and Sarah 2023, higher degree of autonomy yields the most benefit for economic and operational perspective, Hossain et al. 2022, okay? So here you see in the middle of the sentence, we cited one study, in the end, another study. These two are two different studies providing two different information, but the information we put in our study in the same sentence. And these are actually findings of other studies. Okay, so again, you see, we are only citing findings of two different studies. Okay. And here you see, we use et al. So normally when we have 3 or more authors, then in the in-text citation format, we use et al. When we use 2, then we use and, but more than 2, we use et al. And the same information we can present in slightly different in-text citations. So for example, we could do it like this. According to Munim and Sarah, frequent query users prefer lower degree of autonomy. However, higher degree of autonomy yields the most benefits from economic and operational perspective. So we put the first one in the beginning of the sentence and the second one in the end of the sentence. Okay. So as I mentioned already, so when we have more than 2 authors, we use author last name of the first author et al. Here. Recommendation 5, if you're citing from a report or quoting a full sentence, for example, definitions from a published source, the in-text citation must include page number of that information or statement. So for example, here, in the first part here, it's a definition from a journal article, okay? Supply chain management is the coordination of activities within and between vertically linked firms or for the purpose of serving end customers at a profit. So this definition is taken from Larson and Rogers, 1998. This is the journal, this is the year it was published, and page 2, okay? So this is when we are citing a definition from an academic work. But when we're citing a report, this is an example. So while 70% of the business executives consider big data as an opportunity, is still 30% considered it as a problem. ResearchHUB 2011 P12. Here you see the first sentence, the definition, it is copied exactly as it is from the journal article. So that's why we put the quotation marks here, okay? And then we put the page numbers. But for the report, it's not exactly copied. It's a paraphrase sentence synthesizing information from the report, from 2 different parts of the report. but still we have to put the page number, but we are not putting it in a quotation mark, okay? And the final recommendation here, we should never mention title of a study or author affiliation in the in-text citation. This is, I see a lot, particularly with very young scholars and when we are studying in the bachelor's or early stage master students. So for example, you should not write the study by professors from Stanford, and then you put Clarkson et al. Found that, and then you mention the findings. Or like the study title, Big Data and Artificial Intelligence in Maritime Industry. So here you are using the affiliation, here you are using the whole title of the study, and then also cite the study found that. Or the study published by Munim et al. 2022 proposed a new methodology for identifying gaps. So we don't really have to say the study published by Munim et al., right? We could just say Munim et al. 2023. People understand that it's study published by Munim et al. So you don't have to tell it. So we are just misusing space in the text, okay? So by putting this unnecessary information. You may not really understand it, but for the journals, space in the journal is very expensive. So basically, that's what we are fighting for when we are publishing in academic journals, for the space in the journals, especially in top journal, space is very expensive and precious. So we should not waste the space putting unnecessary information, People could just go to your full reference list, find the details of Clarkson and see where they are from. Or same for Munim et al. People could just go in the full reference and see what the title of the study is and where Munim et al. Is based in. So we don't have to mention it in text. So we could simply cite the author names and that people can find the details of the same study at the end of the full reference list. For example, in the last case, right, we could just say Munim et al. Proposed a new methodology for identifying gaps in dyadic settings. We don't have to say the study published by. So the study published by is unnecessary information, okay? So good luck. I hope you find it useful. Here you will find my LinkedIn QR code, so you can scan it and connect with me on LinkedIn. Also, you have my email address and my website here. So I hope you find it useful. Good luck with your academic writing. Cheers.